We want no more segregation. We will accept no more discussion of segregation. And I would appreciate it if you would stop shaking your head in agreement when I don't think you understand what we are talking about.
I do believe that all of you can help us in our endeavors. We do need to have friends. We need those who believe in us.
Yeah. Haha.
Hello, this is Ozma the Mess.
Yes, this is Ozma the Mess here in the messy dark that is Ozma and the Dark's mess. I am still utilizing she, they pronouns for the purposes of continuing the Israeli government's apartheid regime, because apparently I've completely changed all my political views.
You have,
overnight.
yes. Ozma now is very pro-Israel. Ozma also believes in religious freedom.
Oh God, no, don't get me into the story later. And I'm here with Calon. I assume you're still using she, her pronouns for the purposes of pissing off the conservative snowflakes.
I mean, I can't help that I'm such an attractive girl that they want to sleep with me.
Yeah.
I mean, if they weren't conservative, maybe I would.
So let's start today off. I know we missed last week because I was doing TBC and I forgot to mention it. So let's talk about the first day of the Pride Month, Florida signing the transgender athlete bill into law, because of course.
How are they going to enforce that?
I don't...
Are they going to have some pedophile document? See, look, Republicans have finally found a use for the pedophile, apparently.
Yeah, no, they that definitely is...
Yeah, they found a use for the pedophile. Now they can release them all from jail, and they can make sure that apparently none of us trans people are in sports, because, you know, fuck us.
No, so they're enforcing it by any transgender student athlete can't participate without first showing a birth certificate saying she was a girl when she was born.
So for those trans athletes who have supportive parents and can get that thing fixed on their birth certificate, they're okay.
Yeah. But also it allows another student to sue if a school allows a transgender girl or woman to play on a team intended for the term biological females. I think I'm throwing out...
I am a biological female. I'm confused.
Yeah, no, it's called the Fairness in Women's Sports Act, of course.
Aw, we have to be so worried about us women.
Yeah.
Just give me my pistol and you won't have to worry about me at all.
Oh.
You know, those little dainty pistols that they would carry back in the 1800s. Jokes aside, yeah, obviously this bill is transphobic.
Yeah.
It's based off of them basically wanting to suck our blood.
Well, yeah, they need it to properly run the internet. So yeah, there are two ways. You can either use cis blood or trans blood. And while cis blood is better for running the internet, they go for the trans blood because they don't care about us.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and I mean, of course they don't.
Speaking of them not caring about us, pride flags are still banned on military bases.
Well, you think the Pentagon's going to give a fuck about us? They don't, but yeah, this is a Pentagon decision. Oh, by the way, it was not made lightly, nor does it in any way reflect on the respect and admiration we feel for all our LGBTQ plus personnel. A Pentagon spokesperson said. In other words, how can you tell someone to go fuck themselves without telling them to go fuck themselves? Yeah, this is sort of like when you get fired from a job and the employer's like, we really respect you as an employee, you're a really good employee, but like
we have to let you go.
we have to let you go. You know, you won't be able to work here in Monday. Please give us your badge and fuck off. Is essentially it's always like, yeah, we can do all these sweet words and then
pretty much bad actions.
Yeah.
What other disasters do we have?
Tennessee transgender bathroom law has penalties. So basically, businesses and government facilities that are forced to post signs if they let transgender people use the bathrooms of their choice. Now it says owners and officials who refuse could face up to 6 months in jail. So it's so businesses
so when do we
have
get to put a pink triangle and start having to wear that around?
I know Tennessee wants to get there, I'm sure. Although not necessarily the most popular move depending on where you are, but yeah, it's...
Yeah, well, it's not surprising to see Tennessee go this far. I mean, I kind of would expect Tennessee and Texas to be like those kinds of states. Or actually Mississippi would qualify too. Like, it sucks in Mississippi.
Yeah. Although, finally, after far too long, apparently a record number of Americans, including Republicans, now support same-sex marriage. It's up to 70%, which is honestly still too low.
Yeah. Like...
It's at 55% for Republicans, so...
Oh, it is. Lovely. Probably the younger generation, I would imagine, that's coming up.
Yeah, because...
more libertarian sort of oriented Republican.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, they're still garbage Republicans. Like, Republicans are just garbage.
Well, yeah, and voters who identify as independents, it's 73%, so... I think those are closer to the people you're thinking of.
Yeah, they're a bit more of a control group than the Republicans are.
Yeah. Although it's still absolute bullshit.
Yeah, and it's something that will probably eventually end up getting shut down. Somehow. Also, I guess that means I've done a lot of illegal stuff by using the women's restroom.
Yep.
Oops. I am very unrepentant. Like, how do you even enforce something like that? Like,
well, see, here's how you do. You get everybody who has to use the bathroom has to have their birth certificate and identification on them at the time of they needing to go to the bathroom, and then they go through a blood test to try to ascertain chromosomes.
They also go for a urine test, a urinalysis.
Yeah, well, no, they can't do that because they can't figure out what bathroom to use. That's after they see that just doesn't work unless they use the gender neutral bathroom for the urinalysis.
That's clearly what they do.
So apparently, speaking of Texas, a Texas bakery said it lost business and Facebook followers after it posted a photo of rainbow frosted heart-shaped cookies in celebration of LGBTQ Pride Month. But apparently has amassed new fans from around the world. But
I mean, yeah, that's Texas for you. Like, not much to say there.
Yeah.
Texas is full of bigots.
Yeah. Oh, apparently word spread about the backlash and then it got like a ton of business.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that's
good news.
Yeah. That's
good news for one, Ozma.
Yeah, good news happens occasionally. more than 100 LGBTQ candidates are competing in Mexico's election. I don't know what election, but
an election.
yeah. Yeah, lower chambers of Congress, likely.
Yeah, most likely.
I don't know how likely they are to win any sort of election.
I don't know either. I've, like, as bad as it is, I've kind of stopped paying attention to Mexican politics, but still.
True.
Good on them.
Yeah. And it's good that they can... It's good that people are fighting the good fight, because God knows it's been a fucking endless goddamn struggle.
That's for sure.
So, apparently hospitals aren't set up well for the needs of trans men who deal with pregnancy, because the hospitals are set up for various assumptions.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And making an already dysphoric activity even harder.
Yeah. A lot of questioning about identity, a lot of misgendering, being told I shouldn't be in spaces I was seeking care from because they were considered women's spaces, offered an abortion a ridiculous number of times.
I thought they were... Huh. And this... I wonder, is this in the South? Or is this just nationwide generally?
This... is this is Houston, Texas, so
I'm surprised. I thought they would be more pro-life.
no, see, here's the thing. If you're trans or disabled, they want you to have an abortion because they
because they hate you,
yeah. Because they hate the idea of you living your life. Because, it's... They don't actually care about that.
Yep. They don't give a fuck. They just like hating. And anything to distract the working class from like actual issues of economic deprivation caused by the rich sucking in all that wealth in order to keep inflation somewhat down.
Yeah. So apparently during the first day of Pride in Connecticut, Governor Ned Lamont basically signed a Parentage Act into law, which it seems to be like a good Parentage Act, like finally giving rights that should have always been the case, but
that's good.
So essentially they don't have to deal with a second parent adoption. LGBT couples don't need to deal with the second parent adoption if both parties aren't of opposite genders or whatever.
That's good.
So, just making that easy, apparently it's only like Connecticut, Maine, Washington, Vermont, California, and Rhode Island. Everywhere else, it seems like...
everywhere else is backwards. Even North Carolina. Especially North Carolina.
Yeah.
Don't let me fool you. Our state, it's bad.
Yeah, well, try not to have Rhett and Link fool me either. Sorry, I used to watch Rat and Link. They're from North Carolina. They moved to California with YouTube stuff. Anyways, Republicans are at it again. Senate Republicans kill a bill to fight discrimination in the workplace. So basically, Republicans are like, yeah, nah, we're not gonna try to stop discrimination against LGBTQ people and other stuff like that.
Because they're Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
They're the party of freedom of choice. That's right, you get to be a bigot too.
Yep. Yep. Because they just can't just have that one, a few things. And here will be your favorite story. The Biden administration will defend Christian schools accused of anti-LGBTQ bias.
So, yeah, Biden and Trump, see, they both, yeah, definitely pro-Biden. Yeah, we're definitely, on this channel, our Lord and Führer Biden. Not Führer, that was a slip of the tongue.
Oh, God. But, yeah, no, it's essentially, it's just like, yeah, religious freedom, it's fine for them to discriminate effectively.
Yeah, my question is, though, like, why, I mean, do they, like, still get federal funding? Like, I don't...
They'll defend Christian schools' religious freedom to discriminate against LGBTQ students. Blah, blah, blah. Many colleges and universities openly ban. I don't know if it's
that's,
educational institution which is controlled by a religious organization. So I assume it has to be a private school.
Yeah, because generally it has to be like private. The idea that private companies can do whatever they want. Or
yeah, I mean that fits into the
neoliberal nonsense.
Yeah, I can disagree with that because, yeah, and you know, always fun with all this bullshit. But
just
yeah,
the fact that federal and Justice Department resources are being wasted on cases like those is really disgusting. Also, because like it's not just that they're saying, oh yeah, we will defend. It's that basically what they're saying is they're willing to turn the economy at least somewhat towards defense of these bigoted institutions. Because unlike what people may think, we don't have infinite law enforcement or whatnot. There are many other problems that, like child sex trafficking and whatnot, that could be dealt with. But nope, gotta defend those people.
So, yeah. Overseas, because the overseas, honestly, I mean, the first story isn't, but there's been some funny, semi-good news overseas. But first, because I need to channel Sophia, apparently. Let's see if I can do this. The Ulster Bigoted Party. Sorry, I can't do it. The DUP politician condemned for sharing malicious anti-LGBT plus propaganda. So, I mean, at least condemned, but still. Facing criticism after he shared a Facebook post from a ex-gay Oklahoma woman who said she turned away from sinfulness.
Sounds like the ex-gay movement to me.
Yeah, I mean, Yeah, I mean, it's anti-LGBT plus propaganda.
She should be embracing that sinfulness.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. So also in England, or sorry, Manchester, the Bishop of Manchester has backed the prosecution of faith leaders who provide conversion therapy. So
That's good.
Yeah, Church of England, not a fan of the conversion therapy. That, by the way, the Tories over in the UK, the fucking whatever Trump light, I forget his name, Boris Johnson. There we go. He's like, I don't like conversion therapy, but it's fine if, you know, religious institutions try to pray the gay away. And this person is like a bishop in the English church, the Church of England, is
No,
against that.
Yeah.
Is against praying the gay away.
Yeah, why
It's-
something away that isn't a problem?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is a problem if you want to run a fascist regime.
That's true.
So this has been talking about like the bullshit kink at Pride discourse, because it's
Is that still going on? Oh.
Yeah, that's still going on. The weird. I mean, yes, Pride was started by kinky, disabled, queer trans women, but like, you know, it's bad, and apparently
Evil.
sex work is also bad.
Oh, it is? Okay. I didn't know this. See,
Yeah.
we learned stuff from Ozma in the dark.
Yeah, from the dark, I see these these blinding rays of bullshit that honestly they hurt my eyes until I read them out. But yeah, it's very much about. It's very much just like a bullshit argument that really isn't about anything. Because
Problem
like,
is that the argument doesn't hold at all historically. If this were just, if let's say, for example, that Pride wasn't started by kinksters, or there were no kinksters involved, then you would have more of a case of saying, well, they're trying to co-opt the movement. But no, kinksters have been involved in the movement from the beginning.
Yeah, because a lot of it was, a lot of Pride has been about getting rid of the shame of you being yourself. Right. And if you're just like, you should be ashamed of kinks, you're essentially going against the some of the fundamental aspects of Pride. Mm-hmm. And that's just, it's not cool.
Exactly.
It's just not.
It's not Ozma.
I'm not that cool, but that's okay. So apparently, and because I don't really normally care that much about swearing, I will say the blanked, likely what I believe the blanked words are. So apparently columnist Julie Burchill has been sacked by The Telegraph after blaming quote-unquote racist Megan tweet on quote-unquote non-binary butt fucks.
Wow.
Blaming a racist tweet about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's daughters. Yeah. Yeah.
That doesn't sound... Well, that sounds like a justified firing.
Yeah. Apparently she's been forced to pay substantial damages for her racist posts about journalist Ash Sarkar. Yeah, there's just... comment references George Floyd. Over a year after he was murdered by a police officer in Minneapolis, Birchill was widely condemned for the racist remark and for calling the newborn baby it.
Huh. Well, sounds like there wasn't anything lost.
No. Also, apparently, shock upon shock, the so-called gender-critical feminists are peddling the far-right agenda, warns Institute of Race Relations.
I thought this was something that was already known.
Apparently, there's been an official anti-racist think tank that has warned that the anti-trans, gender-critical, quote-unquote feminists in the UK are peddling far-right bullshit.
I remember, from what I recall, like, a lot of the True Scum, organizations have been, funded by, literal Nazis, so, in order to divide the left.
Yeah. 100%. And, they fight against...
As if you need to pay money to divide the left.
Okay.
I'm not wrong.
I know you're not wrong. It's very much fucking biological. The biological fundamentalism bullshit, and it's also anti-feminist bullshit. They also do fucking
2016,
racist shit.
2016 nonsense.
Yeah, the denial of solidarity between trans women and feminists, creating a false dichotomy between the two, detracts from issues that affect us all, such as rollbacks on reproductive rights, the epidemic of gender-based violence, attacks on LGBT rights, and the entrenchment of nativist politics across Europe. That was in the conclusion of the people saying, pointing out the problems with that anti-trans movement. But yeah.
Fun.
And also, finally, this I just found the funniest. There's a lot of gender critical bullshit in the UK that's been falling apart. Heterosexual LGBT Alliance founder resigns after failing to ban trans women from women's spaces. I just love that title. Heterosexual founder of the LGBT Alliance.
Well, I mean, yeah. And it just goes to, show you that, and the fact that the organization was founded by a cis guy, I'm assuming it's a cis guy, right?
No. There were 4 founders. Anne Sinnott is one of the founders, and she's a cis-het woman.
And she's a what?
A cis-het woman.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So the cis. Given that it was founded by the cis, it's not surprising.
Yeah.
Reactionary ideas tend to flow together, and this is a great example of that.
Yeah. Resigned on the 2nd of June, apparently. That day, LGBT Alliance also announced 5 new trustees on Twitter, although none of the 5 are yet listed in the charities register entry for the LGBT Alliance. Here's the thing. The fact that they succeeded in getting charities is potentially working against them. Because all that information
Delicious
has to
irony.
be publicly available. And not just that, they can get into legal trouble if they don't do what they said that their charity is for.
It's great, isn't it? Irony.
Kate Harris, director of the LGBT Alliance, told them that the charity is moving ahead with our important work. Today, we announce our new band of trustees. They are drawn from broadcasting, academia, parliament, and business, and we look forward to calling on their expertise as we continue to grow.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Church Incorporated.
That's been this week in the wonderful world of LGBTQ news. I didn't find a lot of news stories, but what I found was as horrible as usual. Yeah, actually, this wasn't that bad. Usually I find out about, the number of murders.
This week, apparently.
I wouldn't say that explicitly because I don't know. If I could have missed a story, I could have.
Well,
and also because of identification and how police
yeah,
are.
that's right. Yeah, we can't say that.
There could be a trans woman who got killed, who we find out is trans like next week.
True.
So, and with that. Moving on to the ending. Where can people find you, Calon?
You can find me at Calon the Wandering Snake. I am starting to get back into the swing of things and still haven't uploaded anything yet, but that's because I'm mostly working on stuff.
Mm-hmm. And
I'm also here.
Yeah, and you should take care of yourself. And yeah, well... Yeah,
Where can people find you, Ozma?
People can find me at ozmainthedark.com.
In your backyard. I mean, in their backyard.
Looking through their window, staring.
Exactly.
Slowly.
Very creepily.
Slowly, moving closer. Unknown how I got to your backyard. Or why I'm there.
Exactly.
Also, you can find me on this channel a lot. On The Fluid Voice, you can go ahead and subscribe if you haven't, by the way. That'd be cool. And I can't words. This has just been a mess of a day.
Ozma can't word, so I'll word for Ozma. Subscribe, or else. And with that, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Are we off?
Wait, no, wait,
Justice is indivisible. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere.
We want no more segregation. We will accept no more discussion of segregation. And I would appreciate it if you would stop shaking your head in agreement when I don't think you understand what we are talking about.
Sex and race, because they are easy, visible differences, have been the primary ways of organizing human beings into superior and inferior groups, and into the cheap labor on which this system still depends.
No, you all tell me to go and hide my tail between my legs. I have been beaten. I have had my nose broken. I have been thrown in jail. I have lost my job. I have lost my apartment for gay liberation. And you all treat me this way? What the fuck's wrong with you all?
Freedom is merely privilege extended unless enjoyed by one and all.
I do believe that all of you can help us in our endeavors. We do need to have friends. We need those who believe in us.
All we are doing with this bill is allowing two people who love each other to have that love recognised by way of marriage. That is all we are doing.
Sometimes, especially in this body, I feel as though if Christ himself walked through these doors and said what he said thousands of years ago, he would be maligned as a radical and rejected from these doors.